Yeah, I still do these fucking videos. Alright. Do it quick. There's not a whole lot to go through anyways. Universal stuff. Perfect parry, that's the only super important one. I don't care about any of the modern stuff. I'm not going to go over it. If you care, I don't know, look at it yourself. The perfect parry thing just means that if you... Oh, if I actually go into the game, that might help. So it just means that you have to be holding back or holding down back, depending on whether it's a low or not. So if I can even do this properly, because I was trying and it's hard as shit for me. That's a regular parry. That was the... I wasn't holding down back. See, it was still the exact same -4. Her crouch mean kicks -4. Jesus. That was the exact same frame advantage. You get more drive meter if you do that. But now you have to actually do the right direction. See, if you hold down back, then you get it. And then there you go. I could turn on inputs to maybe show you, but where is it? There we go. See, I was holding... The last pair I was holding down back, so that's why I did perfect parry. That's it. There's a whole lot of speculation of like how good or bad this will be and all that stuff. But I'm saying it now specifically for the Zangief stuff because it'll come into play a little bit for the actual Zangief changes. Speaking of Zangief changes, there's this whole patch. There wasn't a whole lot of changes of anything, but Zangief did get one. I would say pretty big nerf. It's a real nerf at least. It's not like a slap on the wrist. So he got fat. What I mean is that his hurtbox got bigger, and just in general is just bigger. So it's like because it's bigger, you can't be as close to people by like a little bit. So that turns into like every single normal, your regular hurtbox is bigger. It doesn't mean the hurtbox of the actual punch goes farther. It's like Zangief's torso is... Elena needs to shut up. I wanted her here because she was new, but she actually will not stop talking. Who doesn't talk? Crap, I don't know. I'm gonna hope Mai doesn't talk. Let's go with that. So the actual torso, upper torso and all that is bigger. So there's a lot of things where it's like you're pressing these buttons and you can get whiff punished easier because there is just a bigger hurtbox there. It doesn't mean that like I do this and they're gonna whiff punish me from where she is now, but it does mean that when I press buttons willy-nilly, there is more hurtbox for you to get hit. And because there is more Zangief, because he's so big and fat now, there's a lot of things that you're not allowed to be as close, like your collision thing. Stuff like this, where before that would connect and now you can't, right? Or this into throw, you're not in range of throw anymore because you just can't be as close. If that makes sense. It's a pretty big nerf. It's pretty bad. It's not the end of the world. It's just like his buttons are still as good as what they do. It's just like I can't just do this all day, every day in someone's face. You know what I mean? Modern changes. I just said I don't care.
Really now? You shouldn't keep a girl waiting.
Oh, she talks too? Goddamn, or whatever. Drive rush. It's just a visual change. There's people who complain over and over again that Zangief would drive rush at you and you'd see the button whiff through him and it wouldn't hit him. This is just a visual thing. So that's it. There's no actual buff here. It's just visually it makes more sense. Where Zangief is while running is where he actually is. You know what I mean? Down forward throw, the one that gives us the good Oki. 5 less frames of knockdown, so now you're plus 28. There's a couple setups people know about that are like real, like you could used to be able to like do dash into something like that. I think that was it. What am I after dash? This. If I do dash now, I'm plus 6. I used to be plus 11, which means I could do my do that. This was real. This was like I could dash forward and do a headbutt. It was real. You can still do it. It's just fake now. You know, if they are mashing buttons on you, then you just gotta be careful. Oh, if I actually dashed forward, Jesus. Like, the range is, like, everything else is still the same. It's just less advantage. Obviously, you can still drive rush at people. You can still go at them. Because you're still plus 28. You still get drive rush. Because of this, you actually get an auto-timed knee now. You get that. +4, isn't that great? I think it's +9 on hit or something. It also means that the corner stomp thing everyone knows and loves. You do this, you're actually 0. So what you can do instead, if you want to do this, you can dash forward, and you're +6, so you have to manually time a throw. What? Manually timed. What? Manually timed. And I can dash forward and, I don't know, fucking... Whoa, it's meaty, that's crazy. I don't know, you can do something. But yeah, again, another nerf. It just means that mid-screen, they're kind of forcing you to use drive gauge. Before there was things you could do where you could, you know... It's either that or doing things that don't give good reward. It's mainly just to get rid of this. Mainly to get rid of dash headbutt, because that was actually really good. Crouch medium kick. Initial scaling of 20%. So, for the people dooming about this more than they should, it's the initial scaling. So, if I start a combo with this, see it says 100 on the first hit, and then 80, 70, or if I pressed, I don't know, medium punch, 100, 180. So it adds 10% more. But it is the initial hit. If, one thing people like doing is drive rush down light kick into drive rush this, you do that, that's still fine. Just so you know, so that does 700, that does 700. So if I do this, bop, bop, 2062. If I go medium punch and don't mess the combo up, 2062. Exact same. So it's only if you start the combo with crouch medium kick. That's it. Again. Ugh, fucking coughing. Another nerf. That one, not as bad. It is more of a universal thing. Because, as I said before, the perfect parry changes of like now when you want to perfect parry something, you have to actually do the input of low or mid. So, because people actually have to guess that more now, there's less chance of people always perfect parrying this. It's more of a universal nerf. The button is still +7 on hit, plus something on block, I forget. What is it? Still +2 on block, right? So speaking of the perfect parry changes, the stomps, they're now a low. Why the fuck they weren't a low before, I do not know. It turns into the exact same thing. This is a 9-frame move. To frame trap into it is kind of not easy. But let's say, for example, if I was jumping at a guy, I do this, or like, I do this move and I do hell stab, right? Or if I do this move and then I do stomp, the guy has to guess which direction to perfect parry, because if he doesn't get it, then he'll just get a regular parry. So that, again, the intention. Making stomp better at, like, hey, here's a low option that Zangief has, where if you actually want to perfect parry to get your turn, or steal your turn, you have to try to parry low. Otherwise, you're regular parrying like hell stab, or you're regular parrying like a headbutt, which is like Zangief is still in your face. Drive impact. Increase the distance, move forward before the attack starts. So, this drive impact goes farther. And I wish I had something to show you how much farther it is. It seems pretty good. Like, this is round start. And I go 1 inch from round start. And it's like coming into contact with her. It goes really far. This is supposed to be a compensation thing for like his hurtbox being fat now. That was like the way they worded it. A buff's a buff, I guess. I do not know how often that comes into play. There might be some instances of like being sorry. There might be some instances of being able to like DI fireballs from farther away and stuff like that. I haven't tested it. It just, his DI goes farther down. There you go. There's probably a couple, I wouldn't be able to show it very easily. There's probably some instances, like if you're right here, but now you can be like all the way over here and like, oh random DI, and it's like, oh, they get hit, right? And you do your thing. extended the throw hitbox of EX, SPD, and it says Siberian Express. I don't care about Siberian Express. Like, extending the throw hitbox is like, how the fuck is this move missing? Aside from if the game gives you close by accident, because you're still not allowed to choose which distance thing you want. But EX getting farther range, it is still not as far as light. I don't know if I can show this first try, but I'll while I'm explaining it. So they brought it up by like a pixel, right? So it's still, see, here's EX missing, there's EX missing, and here's light not missing. There I go, one little pixel, there's EX. Obviously EX does way more damage, like 25 compared to this is like 34. Is it 25 for light? Yeah. So it's like, obviously this is way more. It's more of a, like, you know it's gonna kill, you do it. It's just there. Is, I guess, one little pixel just to make sure your EXSPD isn't missed. Yeah, you may notice the trend here of like all the buffs here are very tiny and not completely useless, but it's like, eh. The universal changes and other characters getting changed are more important than what is happening to Geef, aside from the hurtbox thing. The last actual change is... why was her fan so loud? Is that my settings? The last change is that Lariat, when used in a combo, goes farther. So they have an extra hitbox thing for just combos only. So... again, I don't have a previous example, but there's stuff like... Oh, I gotta take them off blocking. There's a lot of instances of like stand light kick working from like pretty much max range, right? Or actual... I mean, before max range, this worked, but now it's like guaranteed. One of the cooler parts is this also applies to EX Lariat. So now there's instances of being able to get the first hit of EX Lariat, which is important because then you can cancel into super. Or if you get the first hit of EX Lariat, then it's actually like better damage than regular, because EX does 17 to like regular's 14. So there's a lot of instances like, for example, if I like, let me do block first hit. So like I jump at a guy and I go bop, 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 right? I do a little hit confirm. I do 3 lights. Before you could do this, and it's 1735 for 3 drive gauge. But now I could go bop, 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 bop. I get both hits. It's more damage and 1 less drive gauge, and I could use that extra drive gauge to go at them, etc., etc. Or if you cared enough to look at Twitter sometimes, one example here where before, if they block a headbutt, I could do 2 buttons into whatever, like this, right? That's the first hit. That doesn't mean that's the second hit. Or like trying to do other things and it won't work. But stand light kick, EX Lariat, the first hit connects so far now. I can do stuff like that, right? Because they got counter. Because they get counter hit. That was almost. Yeah. See, that doesn't work, but I do get EX Lariat from that. Stuff like that. So basically, that's actually pretty good. There's it working slightly better in combos. For any juggles, I haven't noticed anything different. It doesn't ruin any juggles or anything. But for combo's sake, it's like, oh, now you can get this from a pixel farther away. That's cool. Or now you can do this, and look, I got both hits there instead of just the first hit. Like that's both hits from like max range, correct medium punch. But, the bigger... What's a button I can whiff punish from her? Let's whiff punish that, I guess. But now there's instances like this, where it's like, before if I wanted to whiff punish this with, like, something really damaging, but I want to do it with stand light kick, that's a buffer, which is, like, not easy to do in the heat of the moment. But... Oh. Oh, maybe this won't... Maybe it's not the best example, but... Maybe that's not the best example. Actually, that goes way less farther than I thought it did. Hold on. I thought it went like super far. But I guess the example of just showing the whiff punish. Yeah. a little niche in terms of the whiff punish game. But yeah, that's the first hit there. Or stuff like this where it's like, makes sense? Alright, cool. That's literally it. Season 3 didn't have a whole lot. That was, I probably made this longer than I had to. Again, like I said, what's more important is universal changes, the Zangief hurtbox thing. You'll have to get used to not being punished for whiffing buttons anymore. You have to actually worry about it. And then worrying about, you know, it's the same thing with like a lot of other patches in 5 or 6 or any of these videos I've done, where it's like your bad matchups and how much better or worse of a character they became is usually more important than like what tiny things Zangief got. Like if Dalsum has better combos, then it's like that's not a huge thing, but it's like, oh, now if you whiff a jab full screen, Ryu's gonna kill you, and it's like, oh, okay, you should probably worry about that, you know, stuff like that. But that, God, why is her fan so loud? That's weird. I can't get over that. I've never heard that before. I'm getting off track. So yeah, Zangief is worse. He still does everything like the exact same, but it's all like slightly worse this mid screen, or like slightly easier to punish, or like slightly less damage. It's a bunch of things where it's like if you see a good Zangief player, they're just gonna beat your ass the exact same way. And if you see a Zangief player making mistakes, then it's like those mistakes will add up way more. Make sense? Good? We cool? Alright, I guess see you next year when I make another video.